Well, good morning, everybody. It's January 2nd, 2022. That's a lot of twos. Yeah, we're back online exclusively every Sunday morning until, well, I don't know until when. We had made the decision to put the Christmas Eve services online exclusively, and wasn't happy about that. However, it was the right move. I've heard of other at least one other congregation in the general area where a member of the leadership team tested positive for COVID just a couple of days after they had their Christmas Eve service, and can't really blame anybody. Like they just, folks make up their minds, they make their decisions with the best available data they have and on the the advice of the people in their congregation, and could just as easily gone the other way for us too. However, hindsight's 2020, right? Or 2022. And we decided to go online. And so that means we didn't have a lot of the same phone calls and decisions that had to be made after the fact. So, it is what it is. And we went online, and here we are going online again. Now, the decision that the council made just prior to Christmas Eve was to have a live in-person service on the Sunday before Christmas, and then to go online just for, and even in those 2 days, Sunday was I can't remember the actual date of it. It was the 19th. It was the 19th, and then Christmas Eve was on the Friday. So within that 5-day period, what a flurry of activity. It was emails and Facebook messages flying back and forth among colleagues all over the place. Ping, 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 ping. About what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It was agonizing. And the funny thing about these decisions is that once you make the decision to cancel something, there's a sense of relief that comes over me. It's because I think maybe because the act of making the decision requires so much energy and grief. Because, I gotta tell you, I love Christmas Eve services at Rothwell United Church. I love them. And, back in the great before, just looking out at all those people with the lights holding up the candles. We even got real candles this year. It just is such a beautiful sight. It is just that the sanctuary is lit in a very particular way, and you're singing Silent Night, and it just feels like Christmas. Has ever since I can't remember, not going to Christmas Eve services or not leading them. It's not a lot. I mean, since I was a teenager, really. That was a while ago. It's the harbinger of Christmas. That singing of Silent Night, or I guess I get the chills a little bit when we sing "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." That's always my first hymn or carol on Christmas Eve services at 4:00 or the earlier service, because it just like, oh, come, it just gets me every year. So this year we decided not to do it, and grieving all those feelings of, oh, I'm not going to feel like that Christmas is really here. And it was 4:00 and everybody came, and there was no real opportunity to practice with all the microphones and all the sound and stuff. And then we had this technical glitch that only happened on Christmas Eve and has not happened since, where I kept getting this loud popping noise. And it wasn't people walking over top of cables or whatever, because we tried to replicate it. We couldn't do it. 4:00, pop, 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 pop. I don't know what it was. And then Sabina and I tried to read the Christmas story, and the screen was too bright. You couldn't see the picture. And I was not happy. And I'm not a perfectionist. I think you all know that by now, but I am somebody who likes to have very few barriers between the experience of what I'm trying to do and the reception of it. And so when you've got technical glitches that are distractions, it bothers me, because I don't feel like we're coming across as clearly as we want to. And so just 4:00, as the service went on, I was getting progressively more stressed out. And I was like, so you have all the feelings of grief because Christmas isn't happening, all the technical issues, and feeling bad for people who put their time and effort into it. And so anyway, 4:00 happened, and I was deflated. And I was like, 9 o'clock was better. And maybe because it was simpler, didn't have I was going to say bells and whistles. The bells were lovely and the flute was lovely. But at 9 o'clock, we just had Toby and her grandma. We had some lay readers, and I think that was pretty much it. And it was just simpler and more. It was quiet. There's hardly anybody in the sanctuary. It was just quiet and dark, and I don't know. I just felt it came across a little bit differently. So all that to say is you make the decision. The council made the decision at my behest to continue on with the online services for the foreseeable future. And some of the congregations around town that were the most resistant to going online, let's put it that way. And there's really a handful. They're online too. So we're all online. As far as I know, every congregation in Ottawa is online again. And the dates, I haven't heard too many dates, but the dates that I've heard are January, at least for January. So we'll keep doing this. We'll keep doing this for January. And this Narthex thing is just a chance for me to catch up on some announcements. So I guess really the announcements that I have is that back in the holding pattern, plans that we had tentatively started to make for the beginning of the new year are kind of, up in the air. And we'll just we'll continue to come live. I hope we can have the choir. I don't know if we can or not, but gosh, the Blue Christmas service went off really well. I was really pleased with the way the Blue Christmas service happened. It was pre-recorded, and it was done, relatively efficiently. And I don't know, somehow I managed to get the choir mic'd up just so that it really sounded like a choir. It just, and there was a moment in the recording of the Blue Christmas service, which is one of my favorites, is we were singing In the Bleak Midwinter, and I was recording them. I wasn't singing with them at this point. Maybe it was a different one. Anyway, I was recording them, and I played it back for them over the speakers of the monitor. And the look on their faces was like, is that us? It was really nice. It was so sweet. They were like, is that us? Because when you're singing in a choir, you can't hear the choir because you're all pointed in the wrong direction to hear each other. And when they were all mic'd up and they listened to themselves, it was like, wow, that's us. And I'm like, yeah, that is you. It is beautiful. It was really quite sweet. And so I was happy with the way the Blue Christmas service appeared this year. And when we come back live to in-person services, there's clearly some improvements we need to make on the sound. Like the visuals are going okay. It's the sound is really bugging me. It sounds very swishy when the piano comes in. I don't know what that is, but anyway, I guess I got a month to work on it, and I will. So anyway, all that to say, the announcement, this is that, we're back online, and we'll be back doing this. And if you'd like, we can have our Zoom coffee hours following the service. Not today, because I didn't advertise it. And I find it works better when there's a larger group of people, but we'll get back to the Zoom coffee hours if there is a demand for it. I'm happy to do it, that's for sure. But we'll see if maybe some people are sick of Zoom, and it's maybe doubly so because now we're back doing it more. Anyway, 10:30. I'm gonna go and watch the service with the rest of y'all. Peace. Oh yes, and Happy New Year. Happy New